everybody, I hope you're well. So this week's Running Thoughts, I'm going to talk about the female athlete triad. So if you've not heard of that before, this diagram just sort of helps to explain it really quite well. So hopefully you can see that all right. It's basically, it links three factors in typical to female athletes, when they get injured. You've got low energy availability or disordered eating at the top, low bone density, osteoporosis here in the blue, and then irregular periods and amenorrhea in that section there in the green. Now, obviously there's definitely proof that this triangle or triad exists, but I don't think that's the full picture. So I'm going to explain a little bit about my own personal experience with the triad and how I don't think it's due to low energy in terms of eating disorders alone. So what I tend to find with the medical profession is that a lot of doctors like things to be like measurable. And so therefore they think that low energy is purely due to food because you can measure calories. And they tend to play down the importance or even ignore sort of emotional low energy. Basically, yeah, when I was training, I had my best year 2006. 2007 to 2009, I didn't have a period. I was injured and stressed, but I didn't have an eating disorder, and I was probably the heaviest that I've ever been. My training volume was pretty much the same, so it wasn't like the training that was causing me to have an energy deficit. So the only thing I can put it down to is being stressed, perhaps a little bit depressed, but yeah, I mean, nothing too serious, but you know, as I say, it can have that effect on your body. So yeah, as I say, don't ignore the importance of happiness and having that sort of sense of emotional energy when it comes to training and health in general. So yeah, I got my period back eventually after sort of just over 2 years of not having one, and it wasn't actually until I moved back home, and because up until then I'd sort of been trying to make a go of being this independent and strong athlete that could cope with anything by themselves, and dug myself into a bit of a hole really. And so just moving home, feeling loved and supported again, I got the emotional energy bank account back up, and got my periods back. Just linked to, talking on sort of the subject of periods as well. I know it's quite common for sporty girls to not get their periods till quite late, and that was the case with me. I was like 15 when I got mine. All my friends had got it like years before, and I felt a bit like a weirdo because I was lagging behind everyone so much. But yeah, as I say, it was very strongly linked to the fact that when I was doing all this training, then I had the low energy, and it was preventing me from starting them. So I started mine during my end of season break. I'd always take like a month off, and unfortunately it was on a camping trip, which was not ideal, but anyway, don't need to know that. So that was another point I wanted to make, just in terms of how more and more I'm seeing how athletes, they're not prepared to take a long break at the end of the season. They don't give themselves that chance just to really recharge the batteries. And I think it's partly due to insecurities and thinking that if they're not always doing something hard, then they're gonna like lose all their fitness and not run very well. So I mean, having worked with Janeth Jepkosgei and Eunice Sum, who were both former world 800 metre champions, I was amazed when I discovered that at the end of their athletic season, so that obviously typically finishes end of September, early October for professional athletes, they would have off up until January. They would still run, but it would all just be easy running. You know, there wouldn't be any sessions until come January. And clearly, you know, they did very well off that. So, so don't be afraid to take time off at the end of the season. You know, it does have many benefits, and there's that saying as well that often you have to take a step back before you can move forward. And kind of linked to all of that, I came across a really good quote recently that, well, or tip I guess recently, that said, you're more likely to show grit when you treat your energy as a precious commodity. So yeah, it's really just sort of saving your energy and not wasting it on subpar training because you're tired, or other things that might distract you and detract from your training in everyday life. So having the discipline and the focus to reserve your energy for where it matters. Yeah, so I hope you found that useful, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.